Hi guys, this is Sonja here with another sci-fi adventures video, and for this one my mom, Vicki Summers, is here with me again. You want to say hi, Mom?
Hi everybody.
Hi Mom. Hi. Thanks for joining us. Okay, and Mom's here because as promised we're back to share another review of a movie. And if you were able to join us for the Star Trek IV, the Voyage home video that we did, you might remember that we had decided to do a review of Back to the Future, which is another one of our all-time favorite science fiction movies. And once again, I looked up a Roger Ebert review of the movie, and let's see if I have the date that he did that review, if I can find it. Well, let's see. Back to the Future came out in 1985, so I might not have the specific date. I thought I had it, but I've not seen it. Oh wait, let's see. What's that?
It was 1986.
It says I've got my little paper here, sharing a movie review of Back to the Future by Roger Ebert. He wrote it on July 3rd, 1985.
Oh, yeah.
So there we go.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. And then after that, Mom and I we'll probably just share a few of our favorite scenes from the movie. And, before we close. So I'm going to go ahead and just start with the review. One of the things all teenagers believe is that their parents were never teenagers. Their parents were perhaps children once. They are undeniably adults now, but how could they have ever been teenagers and yet not understand their own children? Back to the Future argues that you can travel back in time to the years when your parents were teenagers and straighten them out right at the moment when they needed help the most. The movie begins in the present, and of course the present is 85 for Roger Ebert. But anyway, the movie begins in the present with a teenager named Marty, and his parents, let's face it, are helpless nerds. Dad tells corny jokes and Mom guzzles vodka in the kitchen. And the evening meal is like feeding time at the fun house, and he really does have a way with words. Dad tells corny jokes. Yes, I already said that. Okay, and that keeps Marty sane. And what keeps Marty sane is his friendship with the nutty Dr. Brown, played by Christopher Lloyd, who is an inventor with glowing eyes and hair like a fright wig. Brown believes he has discovered the secret of time travel, and one night in the deserted parking lot of the local shopping mall, he demonstrates his invention. In the long history of time travel movies, there has never been a time machine quite like Brown's, which resembles nothing so much as a customized DeLorean. The gadget works, and then after a series of surprises, Marty finds himself transported back 30 years in time to the days when the shopping mall was a farmer's field. There's a nice gag when let me find it here. Sorry, guys. There's a nice gag when the farmer thinks the DeLorean with its gull-wing doors is a flying saucer. Marty wanders into town still wearing his 1985 clothing, and the townsfolk look at his goose-down jacket and ask him why he's wearing a life preserver. One of the running gags in Back to the Future is the way the town has changed in 30 years, but a lot of the differences run more deeply than that, as Marty discovers when he sits down at a lunch counter next to his dad, who is, of course, a teenager himself. Because the movie has so much fun with the paradoxes and predicaments of a kid meeting his own parents, I won't discuss the plot in any detail. Back to the Future was directed by Robert Romancing the Stone Zemeckis, who shows not only a fine comic touch, but also some of the lighthearted humanism of a Frank Capra. The movie, in fact, resembles Capra's It's a Wonderful Life more than other conventional time travel movies. It's about a character who begins with one view of his life and reality and is allowed, through magical intervention, to discover another. Steven Spielberg was the executive producer, and this is the second of the summer's 3 Spielberg productions. It follows The Goonies and precedes Explorers. And maybe it's time to wonder if Spielberg is emulating the great studio chiefs of the past who specialized in matching the right director with the right project. This time the match works with charm, brains, and a lot of laughter. Okay, and that is the end of the review. And so I thought Mom and I would just share some favorite scenes from the movie. Okay, and I did just want to say I love the way Roger Ebert writes. He's so funny.
Yeah, he's great.
He is. He's got a great.
He
is. He's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
And I did. I wanted to say, I think I had mentioned before we were talking, Mom, about how I love these movies. Star Trek was the same, Star Trek 4, where they have so much humor, and the characters are so well developed, and all the human interaction is just, I don't know, so much fun.
I know, it's really good.
Really good and compelling. So I think we're drawn to movies like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm weird because I do like the tech side of things, even though I wouldn't say I have a great understanding of real complex technical stuff. But I am interested in it and kind of fascinated with it. But what's going to always get you is the human element, the interaction between the characters. And then the other component I was telling you I like is when the characters grow, transform, yeah. Start out.
Going on big time in this movie.
Yes, it is. The transforming.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, because we were talking about how Marty's dad changes.
Yeah, he changes.
Big time, right?
With one event, yeah.
Right, when he
Man.
hitting Biff, laying Biff out.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if you guys remember that. So we were going to talk about favorite scenes, and I had mentioned one of my favorites is the one where the dad lays Biff out in the parking lot.
Well, he was attacking his mom.
Yeah, but the dad had got to be the hero, and in doing so, he stood up to the bully of his whole life,
That's it.
and then that transformed him into somebody.
Became very enamored with him at that point.
Yeah, she fell in love, right? She fell madly in love with him.
Yeah.
And so he became sort of like the knight in shining armor, which that was so transformative, obviously, for the dad who, as Roger Ebert said, was a nerd, kind of. No offense. I like nerds. I consider myself kind of a nerd, but...
He was a little bit more than a nerd.
He was
over the edge.
He didn't have confidence. Yeah, he didn't really have confidence.
No, he didn't.
And that was maybe some other scenes I really loved. I think I liked all the scenes where Marty was helping his dad,
Yeah.
kind of encouraging him to write science fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, Which if you guys have watched the movie, and I can't imagine hardly anyone hasn't seen this one. I suppose it's possible. There might be a few people, but if you haven't seen it, we highly recommend it.
Yeah,
Right, Mom?
it's really good.
It's fun. It's
Really
got
good
a little bit of everything. Yeah. But the dad definitely, when Marty comes back, I don't know how much of it to give away, but when Marty comes back from the future, his whole family is transformed and changed. And they're almost unrecognizable.
Right.
So do you have any particular favorite scenes that you want to share? I mean, they're all so good, I think, in the first Back to the Future.
Yeah, well, of course, that one scene that I keep talking about when Marty's in 1955 and finds the professor, what is he, a
Dr. Brown.
Dr.
Isn't
Brown.
his name? Yep. Played by Christopher Lloyd.
And Dr. Brown is doing what he does. He's trying to invent something, and he has it on his head. And he thinks it's going to be able to read Marty's
Minds, is that, yeah.
and figure out what he's really going to say.
Exactly.
And it backfires totally.
That was hilarious, because I think he pulls him into the house and he's like, don't say a word.
Right.
And then he's like, wait, I'm going to read your thoughts. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was
Hilarious. So, and all the scenes, that, I should say too, those are my favorites also, where Marty and the professor.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
The other thing I really liked was their friendship.
Oh, yeah.
They had they really cared about each other.
Yeah, they did.
Which
It starts out actually in the movie with Marty at the professor's house.
Right, yeah.
And he was playing the guitar.
Playing the guitar, that's right. Yep.
There was this machine that was going, dumping food in the dog's bowl.
Yeah.
Automatically doing things.
Yes, all the inventions.
And then Marty, what did he do? He blew up the whole
His
thing.
amp.
And he was
Yeah, because he was playing guitar.
playing guitar and the whole
He
thing
turned everything up.
blew up.
Yeah, it was hilarious, actually. It was so cute. But this film has so many memorable moments. That's the whole thing about it. It's like, to me, I don't know if you guys agree who are hanging with us here, but I mean, it's almost like nearly every scene is unforgettable. I think that's why it's just such an amazing movie. I mean, one of the funniest, most interesting I've ever seen. It was just, and then I should just throw in that they explored if I'm right about this, you guys, I think it's the grandfather paradox, where if you go back in time, whatever you do, you don't want to interact with yourself or your family. So that was another big thing in the movie, because of course Marty did that right away. Oops. He did it right away. Oops. And he had that picture, and of course his family was like slowly disappearing. Because his mom and dad had to kiss on the dance floor to save it all. Yeah, because they had to get together. Right. They were being erased. And I remember Emmett Brown, is it Dr. Emmett Brown? Yeah, he says, erased from existence. Very dramatic. It was great. And let's mention the acting, okay? Amazing acting in this.
Yeah, really.
Christopher Lloyd, incredible actor. Just so much fun.
Yeah, he did.
And perfect casting. And one other thing, and I can't remember who it was, but in case anybody didn't know this, I thought it was really interesting. They had someone else cast, not Michael J. Fox. They had someone else that was, going to be in the Marty role, and it wasn't working out. And I think it was a pretty famous, whoever he was, for some reason I can't remember him now, but he's pretty famous, really good actor. He just apparently wasn't quite right for the part. And the minute they got Michael J. Fox in there, it was like magic. And it all came together. And before that, it sounds like it wasn't really coming together. It wasn't working so good. So, and I'm sure that's a lot of it. When you have a really great film or something, it's like all the chemistry works, everything just comes together.
Yeah.
And it really did. It really did.
Yeah.
Okay, well, is there anything else we want to add? This one's going to be a little shorter, guys, but...
Well, like we said before, we don't want to, and he said, we don't want to give it away. So.
Right. We don't want to give too much of the plot of the way in case someone hasn't seen it. And again, it's Back to the Future. This was, I think it came out in 1985, I'm thinking.
86.
Because, well, the review was 85, though. So that's why I'm thinking...
What? Really?
Yeah, it says the Roger Ebert, he wrote this review on July 3rd, 1985.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking the movie surely came out.
In 1985.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it came out in 1984. I think it was 85.
I thought when I looked up the movie on there, it said 86. I'm wrong.
Well, since the review was written in 85, I'm not really sure about that. But anyway, it came out in the 80s, one of those 80s gems of a movie. And again, we won't give too much away. And then the other thing is, I think the next movie we might do this with is Groundhog Day. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. I bet a lot of you have. That's another I think that's an incredible movie. Yeah, and really big on the transforming theme.
Oh yeah, that's a really good.
Groundhog Day, and that has Bill Murray, who I think did a brilliant job.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I always thought he was a brilliant actor. Is a brilliant actor.
He is.
Yeah, and he's done a lot of amazing stuff. But this one, that's another one we highly recommend. So I think we'll do that one next as we feel inspired. Okay, so I guess we're going to wrap it up. And so I do want to thank you guys for joining us. And I do hope you enjoyed hanging out with Mom and me. I know we enjoyed it. And we do want to thank you again for joining us. And if you are enjoying the videos on this channel, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can stay in the loop and be notified when there are more upcoming videos. And until then, I hope you guys will keep exploring. I know I will. And I look forward to being back with you again soon with more sci-fi adventures.